Ah, damn. It's your boy G.hemlock and this thing, man. Now look, today we're going to be watching useless things billionaires spend their money on. Expensive, useless things billionaires spend their money on, to be exact. So, without further ado, let's get it.
You'd think that in order to become a billionaire, you'd need to be pretty smart. But it turns out being good at making money doesn't necessarily mean you're good at spending it. From million-dollar pigeons to designer garbage bags, you won't believe the weird, wacky, and downright useless ways billionaires have found to splash their cash.
I was trying to get the jamming, bro.
Titanic 2.0. For billionaires, shelling out for a luxury yacht is understandable, but spending $500 million to build a replica of a ship that's famous for sinking?
$500 million?
But that hasn't stopped Clive Palmer. The Australian billionaire, businessman, and
You know what I could do with that much
politician is
money?
currently spending millions on a replica of the RMS Titanic. He's calling his boat Titanic II, and once it's completed, he intends to sail it from Southampton, England to New York. The route taken by the original Titanic, because that went so well the first time. To
Sure
capture the
did.
authentic feel of the original 1912 ship, Titanic II won't have internet access, and the third-class compartments
His ass
will
gonna end
feature
up at the
narrow
Krusty
bunk
Krab,
beds
like
and
the,
wash basins. Unlike the
what's
original
that thing
Titanic,
that
though,
happened?
the billionaire has promised that his boat will possess modern safety equipment,
The submarine.
including enough lifeboats.
I know y'all heard
for
about
all
that submarine.
2,435
His ass gonna end up in
passengers.
Mr. Krabs'
However, the
office
project
asking for a
has
pay
hit
raise.
A few icebergs. Titanic II was originally scheduled to set sail way back in 2016, but that deadline
I guess they
was
don't know
pushed
that
to
right now.
2022 due to
Because that
financial
happened here.
disputes. Skeptical commentators have also pointed out that Clive Palmer has a history of announcing then abandoning eccentric projects. Back in 2012, he purchased a resort with 160 state-of-the-art animatronic dinosaurs, only to close it in 2015, leaving his prehistoric robots to the elements. Let's hope Clive Palmer
Abandoned
doesn't
Jurassic
abandon
Park?
Titanic II to sink without a trace. If you'd like to sail the high seas on Titanic II, hit the like button. Or if you'll be steering clear, smash the subscribe button.
You heard him, boys.
With
Smash that like and
mind-boggling
subscribe button.
content posted daily, you can't lose if you climb aboard the good ship Be Amazed. Now let's get back to it. Mobile money. Where would you keep a precious jewel? Personally, I'd lock it away in a safe. But when one Hong Kong businessman inherited a 26-carat black diamond, he decided he wanted to keep it with him at all times. His solution? To
I'm going
attach the
insane,
rare
bro.
jewel to his iPhone. That's right. The anonymous businessman commissioned luxury craftsman Stuart Hughes to make him a custom iPhone 5 and have his black diamond mounted on the home button.
Not an
The body
iPhone
of the
14
phone
Pro
is coated in
Max.
24-karat
An
gold,
iPhone
while the
5.
sides and the Apple logo
That motherfucker
are
has a
inlaid
button.
with 653 flawless white diamonds. The screen, meanwhile, is sapphire glass, an incredibly hard and scratch-proof material made from real sapphires. Thanks to these precious embellishments, the glittering smartphone is valued at a jaw-dropping
Or just buy a screen
$15
protector.
million. It might be an outdated model now, but you still wouldn't want to drop it down the toilet. Silver linings. It seems as though with enough money, you can do pretty much anything, even control the weather. For a hefty $100,000 fee, the super rich can hire companies to disperse clouds and banish rain, guaranteeing blue skies for their weddings. An American chemist called Vincent Schaefer was the first to experiment with a technique known as cloud seeding. He discovered that by pumping dry ice and silver iodide into clouds, he could cause the water particles within to freeze before falling as snow or rain. In theory, this could also be used to induce rain in one area to reduce it elsewhere. Over the years, this technique has been put to many
You love your wife
uses.
that
Some
much.
ski resorts use cloud seeding to induce snowfall, while
You
China
must love your
reportedly
wife
used
that
the
much.
technique to prevent rain in Beijing during the
That you will
2008
delay the
Olympics.
weather.
More recently, UK-based events company Oliver's Travels came up with the bright idea of selling sunshine to wealthy clients. For $100,000, they'll hire a plane, a pilot, and a trained meteorologist to fire small rockets of silver iodide into any clouds, changing water vapor into rain, which will fall in advance of your big day. The catch? There's still debate over whether cloud cloud seeding actually works. In 2003, the National Research
I hope
Council
it doesn't
claimed that
work.
there's
I
insufficient
hope it doesn't work.
scientifically acceptable proof of successful cloud seeding.
Just
While
go
a
inside.
2010 study by Tel Aviv University
Close
found
the windows,
technique
go
isn't
inside.
particularly effective at producing rainfall, so you're probably better off spending your $100,000 on emergency umbrellas. Seeing double. Did you know animal-loving billionaires have discovered a way to keep their pets alive forever? Obviously, the mega-rich can't actually beat death yet, but they can spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on genetically identical replicas of their beloved animals to replace them
I need
when
to
they
see
die.
this.
Scientists have known that it's possible to clone mammals since 1996, when a group of Edinburgh scientists cloned a sheep. The first successful experiment in dog cloning took place 9 years later in 2005, when South Korean scientists cloned 2 dogs using cells from the ear of an Afghan hound. In 2009, billionaire businessman John Sperling paid the same lab to clone his girlfriend's dog, giving rise to the phenomenon of commercial pet cloning. Now there are cloning companies all over the world willing to
This
replicate your fur
works?
baby for a hefty fee. US-based company Biogen charges
This
$50,000 to clone a dog, $35,000 for a cat, and a whopping $85,000 for a horse. Here's how it's done. Scientists remove a cell, such as a skin cell, from your pet. They then take an unfertilized egg from another animal of the same species and suck out the nucleus with a pipette. They transfer the DNA from the skin cell into the unfertilized egg and use an electric pulse to fuse the egg and the DNA together. The egg is then implanted into a surrogate, which carries and gives birth to the clone. The process has proved a hit with the rich and famous. Barbara Streisand has revealed that 2 of her 3 dogs are clones. Simon Cowell has publicized his plans to clone his 3 Yorkshire Terriers, and media billionaire Barry Diller has cloned his Jack Russell Terrier into 2 new pups. But pet cloning has a dark side. The DNA of cloned pets is replicated from an adult animal, meaning they may be born with DNA strands that are actually shorter than normal, which can lead to premature aging and early death. There's also the fact that many cloned pregnancies don't take hold in the surrogate uterus. In order to clone Snuppy, the Afghan hound, the South Korean scientists had to implant more than 1,000 embryos into 123 dogs, which meant many animals underwent unsuccessful invasive operations. With these factors considered, ethicists and animal rights organizations argue that cloning isn't the best way to prolong your time with your pup. And as you'll soon see, there are plenty of other ways
That's probably
to
what she said.
splash cash on your pet without going full mad scientist. Millionaire Mutt. How would you feel if I told you this dog has more money than you? Meet Trouble, the pet Maltese of billionaire hotelier Leona Helmsley. In her lifetime, Leona's
She looked like she was
hard-hearted business
replicated.
practices earned her the nickname Queen
Look at her.
of Mean. She
That's
was known
like a
to
zombie.
rage and storm at her employees, and even served 19 months in prison for tax evasion after claiming that only the little people pay taxes. But puppy love can melt the iciest heart.
People do that
and
now, so I'm not even
Helmsley certainly
surprised.
had a soft spot for her beloved Trouble. In fact, when she died in 2001, Helmsley's family was horrified to learn that she'd cut 2 of her 4 grandchildren out of her will in order to leave her dog a $12 million fortune. A judge immediately slashed Trouble's inheritance by $10 million on the grounds that Helmsley must have been
You're telling me
mad when she made the will. But
your
that
dog
still left Trouble much richer than most
is
people.
more
The
important
$2 million fortune
than your
was
2
handled by a
grandchildren. Not
caretaker
1
who spent
grandchild.
$100,000
2
a
grandchildren.
year on the pampered pooch, including $8,000 for grooming
$12
and
million.
$1,200 for luxury dog dinners. The pup also had a round-the-clock security team to protect her from death threats and kidnapping attempts. Because even for dogs, Biggie Smalls'
Yeah, your
words
dog
ring
can check
true.
death
Low
threats.
money, low problems. So remember,
Probably
people,
from other
the moral
dogs.
of this story is to be nice to your
Yeah.
elderly relatives. If not, your inheritance really could go to the dogs. Road rage. Back in 2013, police in Moscow pulled over an ambulance that was driving erratically. When they peered inside, they were shocked to discover that instead of containing medical equipment and paramedics, the vehicle was fitted out like a luxury limousine. They'd stumbled upon a sneaky new scheme by Moscow's mega-rich: hiring fake ambulances in order to glide through gridlocked traffic, delivering them to their boardrooms in
Those aren't even the
plenty
right
of time.
lights.
These taxi ambulances
You
reportedly
know that's
rose
fake.
from Moscow's notorious roads, which are home to some of the worst traffic jams in the world. According to a 2019 survey by Dutch tech company TomTom, the average Moscow driver spent 210 hours a year sitting in traffic. That's almost 9 days. You might think a wealthy commuter would be inspired to spend their cash funding research into how to solve this problem for everyone. But nope. Instead, rich businessmen spend $150 an hour on undercover ambulance taxis, blasting the siren in order to skip to
Okay,
the front of
those are the
queue.
right
I
lights.
guess you don't get rich for being nice. Pampered pups. While, admittedly, celebrity socialite Paris Hilton isn't actually a billionaire, this hasn't stopped her spending like one. Just take a look at the $325,000 mini mansion she had built for her beloved pet chihuahuas. The two-story villa is located in the grounds of Hilton's Los Angeles home, and at 300 square feet, it's big enough for a fully grown human to fit inside comfortably. Sadly, I doubt the dogs appreciate the design detail that went into this luxury pad.
Good.
The
That should
walls
teach
are
you a
painted
lesson.
Barbie pink, and the custom leather furniture was
That
created
should
by
teach
French
you a lesson.
designer Philippe Starck. The mansion also
When really-
boasts air conditioning, a sweeping staircase, a chandelier, and a balcony, all of which puts a positive spin on being in the doghouse. And while we're on the topic of pampered pups, take a look at the most expensive dog collar in the world sold by company I Love Dogs. This blingy piece of dog jewelry is handmade and bedazzled with 1,600 diamonds. The catch? It'll set you back a cool $3.2 million. Is your pooch worth it, or is this just a bunch of billionaire baloney? Let me know in the comments below. Flex on wheels.
I'm not spending that much money on my
Billionaires can
dog.
afford
If you were to
go
get a chain,
wild when
he's
it
getting
comes
a
to choosing
$100
car,
chain from
but they don't
gold.
always make the most practical choices. Just take a look at this sparkling
I love 'em though.
Mercedes-Benz, created as a showcase
But
by
not
US luxury car company
$3,200,000.
It's worth
No.
an estimated $1 million and is encrusted with 300,000 Swarovski crystals.
I wouldn't
After
even
the
want to do that
pictures
to my
went
Benz.
viral online, an
That looks
urban
cool,
legend
though. It looks
developed
raw as
that
fuck.
Saudi Arabian billionaire Prince Al-Walid bin Talal
I wouldn't even want to
owned
do this
one,
though.
and
It
that he
attracts too
charged
much
his
attention.
friends $1,000
You just asking for your
to
car to
touch
get
it.
robbed.
However, the prince's private office released a statement denying any
Carjack.
ownership of a diamond-encrusted Mercedes-Benz. If you say
You
so,
probably
Your
couldn't even
Majesty.
carjack this motherfucker.
Next up, check out this vintage ride.
But you can
owned by
definitely get, like,
Elon
a-
Musk.
a
The
knife
billionaire Tesla
and a hammer, get
CEO
the-
spent nearly $1
all those
million
diamonds off.
on this
You'd be rich
Moses
off that.
boat, which was featured in the 1976 Bond film The Spy Who Loved Me. Musk bought the car from a Long Island couple who'd found it in a locked storage unit in 1989. They paid just $100 for the car and were stunned to sell it to the world's richest man for a huge profit. But there's a twist. Elon has modified the car with 4 battery-powered propellers, allowing it to run underwater and double as a submarine. It's unclear whether Elon actually drives the car underwater, but he's reportedly using it as inspiration for a brand new subaquatic Tesla. But we can't talk about cars without mentioning the Sultan of Brunei, who owns the
I can't get
largest
mad at that,
private car
because they don't know
collection
about
in
the submarine
world.
people
He's
that ended up at the Krusty Krab.
7,000 cars, including 300 Ferraris and 600 Rolls Royces, with a combined value of more than $5 billion. That means that even if the Sultan decided to drive a new car every single day, it would still take him more than 19 years to try every car in his collection. However, collectors who visited in recent years have reported that many of the cars have never been driven, with leather melting in the sun and seats covered in mold. It's
That's
almost as if
disgusting, bro.
7,000 cars is too much for one man. Whoa!
7,000 of the same cars.
Skyscraper
Yep,
for
of course
one.
that is.
Imagine being so rich you could have a 27-story skyscraper all to yourself.
But why?
One billionaire, Mukesh
Why?
Ambani, is living that dream. His Mumbai home, known as the Antilia Building, is the most expensive private house in the world. The
Why did you build the
gigantic
Antilia building?
is located on a
For
street
what?
known as Billionaires Row.
You have
famous
this
for its
rich-ass looking
ultra-luxury
building.
mansions. Inside,
Look at this
you'll find
atmosphere,
space
though.
for 168 cars, a temple, 3 helipads, and a
It's not bad,
50-seater
actually.
cinema. There's even a fully stocked ice cream parlor for when the Mumbai heat gets too much. Unsurprisingly, the idea of an entire 400,000 square foot skyscraper belonging to one wealthy family doesn't sit well with many people. After all, Ambani could have spent his billions providing relief to Mumbai's poor, rather than squandering money
That
on
would have
an
been
oversized
way
mansion. It
more
probably doesn't
impactful.
help that in order to clear space for his futuristic pad, Mukesh had to buy the land from an orphanage, which he then had knocked
Like at
down.
that point, you just made yourself a legacy.
Not exactly
You spend that
helping
much
the
money
evil
on like
billionaire stereotype there,
the
Mukesh.
atmosphere and like poor people,
Pot of gold.
bro.
In 2001, Hong Kong jewelry magnate Lam Sai Wing earned himself a Guinness World Record by building the world's most expensive bathroom. The
What the
unusual
frick?
project cost Sai Wing a breathtaking
Oh yeah,
$3.5 million
Top G.
to build, featuring 380 kilograms of 24-karat gold and 6,200 precious gemstones. Today, tourists can visit the bathroom, which is on display at Sai Wing's Hong Kong store.
a golden
But
bathroom.
however much you may need to go, the
You probably gotta
full-functional
pay to take a
solid
piss.
gold toilet is
Pay more to
off
take a shit.
limits. Perhaps inspired by Alam's creation, Italian artist Maurizio Catalan made this 18-karat gold artwork in 2016.
You know how rich you gotta
which
be
he named
to
America.
just say you're
In
shitting on gold.
2019, the Fancy John, worth over $5 million, was stolen from the Blenheim Palace in the UK, where it had been plumbed into the wall as a quirky exhibition piece. A
They took that golden toilet.
$124,000 reward was
They took
offered
the
for its
golden
safe
toilet.
return, but it was never seen again. I guess there can only be one golden throne. Toilets aren't the only way to incorporate a touch of luxury into your bathroom. In 2013, Australian company Toilet Paper Man revealed an unusual new product: a single roll of 22-karat gold toilet paper on sale for $1.3 million. The paper is now listed as
Because that's
sold
worth
out,
buying.
suggesting that one eccentric billionaire may have decided to flush their money down the drain. But that's not where the madness stops. If you'd like the contents of your toilet paper bowl to match your solid gold toilet paper, you can shell out $425 for 24-karat gold poop pills. These 2-centimeter long capsules were created by artist Tobias Wong and claim to make your feces gold and glittery. In Tobias's words, they will turn your innermost parts into chambers of wealth. I'm gonna go ahead and take his word on that. But you're welcome to give the golden poop pills a try. Cold hard cash.
Just have Midas.
Would you spend hundreds of dollars on
Just have
ice?
Midas touch your
And
ass.
No, I don't mean
Have Midas
diamonds.
touch
I
you,
mean
period. If you want to be gold,
frozen
you
water.
care about gold so
Strange
much to the
though it may
point where you
sound,
want to
there's
shit
a
out
booming
gold.
market for
But just have Midas
luxury
touch you,
ice,
bro.
with the super wealthy willing to spend $325 on a case of 40 cubes. That's a chilling $8 per cube. According to leading brand Glace Luxury Ice Co., their product is made from specially
stupid.
purified water that's free of minerals, additives, and pollutants. Each
Shit
piece
is
of
that
ice
important to you, huh?
individually carved into a sphere or a cube and comes packaged in a resealable pouch. They're certainly pretty to look at, but to me, it seems like a great way to watch your money literally melt away. Guinea pig armor. Back in June 2013, a very strange item was listed for sale on eBay. Feast your eyes on this: a cute little suit of handmade chainmail and a battle helmet designed to fit any medium-sized guinea pig. Perfect for carrot jousting, I guess. Now, personally, I don't consider guinea pig armor a must-have. But the mega rich must disagree, because the listing received 156 bids from 47 bidders in 10 days, and ultimately sold for a breathtaking $24,000.
I'm sure that motherfucker could barely move.
Although the winning bidder chose to remain anonymous, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that they must have been pretty well off. Is that you, Bill Gates? Designer trash. Can you
Oh my
imagine being
goodness, I
so
did not just
rich
hear
that you can
this.
afford to spend a fortune on your trash? In 2018, Kim Kardashian made waves
Of course
when
she did
posted
that.
a snap of her trash cans on Instagram,
Of course she did
revealing
that.
they're branded all over with the Louis Vuitton logo. While they were likely just custom painted and not officially branded, Kim's not the only person who's splashed their cash on Louis Vuitton themed trash. This photo of a branded bin bag has been doing the rounds on the internet, and while that bag appears to be another custom job, these
Imagine
ones
spending
are
your money
real.
on something
This
you don't
unusual
see every day.
waterproof purse, officially sold by Louis Vuitton,
Like
is
trash
designed
bags.
to look like a garbage bag and will set you back a
In your
whopping
garbage can, something that you only see every Thursday.
$1,960.
I don't know about
Sometimes
y'all, but
fashion really is
my
trashy.
garbage truck comes every Thursday.
Something
So you gotta
fishy.
take the trash out every
Personally,
Thursday
I'd
so they
pay
can empty the
money
bin.
not
You
to
know
have
how
a
this
shark
goes.
in my home. But billionaire hedge fund manager Stephen Cohen evidently disagrees.
But yeah, I'm just gonna
because
go
he spent
design a
$8
Gucci
million
next time I see
on
it.
a dead tiger shark
Because I love
suspended
my
in a
garbage
tank of
can that much.
formaldehyde. This unusual piece of interior decor is actually an iconic 1991 artwork by British artist Damien Hirst and goes by the charming name of The Physical Impossibility of Death in the Mind of Someone Living. Make what you will of the name, but here's a little secret about Cohen's purchase. It's not actually the same shark that Hearst made famous back in the 90s. By the time Cohen bought the artwork, it was 13 years old, and the original shark had begun to decay. So on top of the purchase price, Cohen paid for a brand new
You see
shark
his
to be
face?
caught and stuffed, a process which cost more than $100,000. Why can't billionaires just be satisfied with a goldfish?
Right.
Hashtag
It's even
blessed.
got the name gold in it.
Madonna may
Is that not enough?
quite be a billionaire,
Is that not
but
enough?
trust me, her spending habits are extravagant enough to land her a place in this video. Don't believe me? Well, did you know that she reportedly spends $10,000 a month on water? Yeah, the stuff that comes out of taps for free. The singer is a devout follower of Kabbalah,
I wouldn't
a
say
mystical offshoot
free.
of Judaism that boasts
Definitely
a
have a
number
water
of
bill to pay.
super rich devotees, including Lindsay Lohan and Mick Jagger. As a result, she will only drink bottled water that's received a Kabbalah blessing, which many followers believe enriches it with the power to cure disease and even neutralize nuclear waste. Needless to say, there's no evidence to back up these claims. In fact, a 2012 BBC documentary revealed that some sellers of Kabbalah water were actually charging extortionate prices for plain tap water, cashing in on the gullibility of the rich and famous. This wasn't enough to stop Madonna, though. Not satisfied with merely drinking the Kabbalah water for $5 a bottle, Madonna's friends report that she also fills her radiators and
Eve to me is basically freedom. It's a giant open universe where you can do whatever you want. You can have really relaxed, slow-paced stuff where you can take it easy. Or you could be on the edge of your seat, shaking, making
and swimming pools with the stuff. Talk about liquid assets. Island extravagance. We all want to make our mark on the world, but some billionaires take that idea a little too literally. Take Sheikh Hamad bin Hamdan Al Nahyan, a member of Abu Dhabi's ruling family.
What?
In the early 2000s, he came up with the unusual idea of carving his own name into the surface of Al Futaisi, an island he owns off the coast of Abu Dhabi. He hired workers to build a series of canals which would spell out Hamad in letters that were 1,600 feet long and 144 feet wide, large enough to be spotted on Google Earth satellite imagery. But unfortunately, in 2012, the letters were filled in with sand with no explanation, rendering the whole project a short-lived waste of time. Maybe Hamad realized he'd made a mistake? Not all billionaire private island owners need to label their land in big letters, though. Most times, merely spending time there brings enough satisfaction. And what better way to get to and from your personal paradise than in an incredibly souped-up yacht? The master of this kind of thing is super wealthy businessman Roman Abramovich, who owns not one but two super yachts. The $600 million Solaris is 460 feet in length and boasts 8 decks, a helipad, a sauna, and anti-paparazzi lasers. Her sister ship Eclipse is even bigger. coming in at 530 feet and valued at a stunning $500 million. It's hard to imagine why anyone would need two enormous yachts, but I guess buying stuff you don't need is part of the fun of being a billionaire. Winging it. You've probably heard of billionaires who drop millions on exotic pets. But did you know that China's uber-rich shell out huge sums on pedigree pigeons? Yup, it turns out pigeon racing is a big business in China. The ancient sport involves releasing specially trained homing pigeons into the air and then placing bets on which bird will be the first to return home. In the interests of securing a win, breeders sell fast-flying, thoroughbred birds for eye-watering prices. Particularly desirable birds routinely sell for hundreds of thousands of dollars. And in 2020, a frantic bidding war ended when an anonymous Chinese buyer spent $1.9 million on a 2-year-old pigeon called New Kim. Experts at Pipa, a specialist pigeon auction house, likened the bird to a painting by Picasso, with a few more feathers, of course. Vampire billionaires. Now, I don't want to imply that all billionaires are bloodsuckers, but it's true that some super wealthy vampires, tech moguls, are willing to splash their cash on a dystopian procedure called a young blood transfusion. This involves injecting wealthy clients with the blood of 16 through 25-year-olds, which is thankfully harvested willingly, and allegedly increases the regenerative abilities and general functions of older people's bodily cells. A US-based startup called Ambrosia was founded around this idea in 2006 and began offering transfusions for $8,000 a
But why?
PayPal billionaire Peter Thiel made headlines in 2016 when he expressed interest in trying out Ambrosia's work. But is it legit? Well, unsurprisingly, the practice has received a lot of criticism and has been widely labeled as pseudoscience. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration, for instance, issued a warning about the transfusions, claiming that they have no proven scientific benefits. They also point out that the procedure could risk spreading blood-borne diseases and could even overload the circulatory system, causing swelling and breathing difficulties. So, even if you are insanely rich, probably best to give this blood-curdling procedure a miss. Go buy a golden toilet or
What the
something
fuck was that
instead.
Drake meme? Well, there you have it, fellas. Your most expensive, useless things billionaires spend their money on. And let me know in the comments below your favorite expensive, useless thing these billionaires decided to do with their money. I think my favorite expensive, useless thing these motherfuckers decided to do with their money was Kim Kardashian's idea to decorate her garbage can and her bags to be Louis Vuitton. That's my favorite because it's real stupid. But if you did like the video, please like, comment, and subscribe. G.hemlock, I'm out.